Hey, you guys, it's Lynn. Um, I am super excited to have this chat today,
Hey, you
team.
guys, it's Lynn.
I'm echoing in the background. Hold on, I had to kill that. Um, I'm super excited to bring this to you guys today. Team has been pushing me for the longest time to have this discussion. Um, some people are not going to like this because this goes against a lot of the things that you guys have heard in the community, and that's about 100% of the reason that I'm doing this. Um, where this comes from is that over the last 6 years, well, longer than that, ever since basically 2016, I have torn apart all of the information about twin flames, have spent night and day gathering evidence with all the twins that we work with all the twins that have come to us, with twins that I know that are twins. Basically, what we've done is there's a very we've taken a list of a very stark difference in actual true twins and in people that are experiencing a soulmate relationship. So what I really want to do today is I want to break this all down because there are so many people out there that are having a miserable time with this journey, and quite frankly, I think a lot of them really should be pursuing something else that's healthy, but this label is holding them back. um Hold on a second. I'm going to turn this down. There we go. I think this is really, really important. First of all, I just want to make it really clear. You only have one twin flame. You have one. Not only that, not everyone has a twin flame. So there's been too much information that has been pushed out into the mainstream media telling people all of these things that are not true. And I really feel like it's done a disservice to so many people. There are everybody in the world has a beautiful path ahead of them should they choose the right one. When you're on the wrong path and when you're navigating something that isn't true to who you are and what you're supposed to be doing, it's 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 not in your best interest. So we've got a lot of people out here that are experiencing something that's not a twin flame relationship, but all of the soulmates out there that are saying that they're twins, that don't understand the true connection and all the actual symptoms and the responsibilities of it, are telling people that there's should be expecting something that really isn't realistic. So not only that, we've got actual true twins out there that are told that they're supposed to be in union right now because there's so many supposedly are. That's not true either. And we be able to break this down. I want people to be able to really understand what's different about twin flames versus a soulmate relationship, so you can do a more deep dive assessment into actually what you're experiencing and see if these things apply to you. So there's that. Just a second here. Phoebus is saying, she's saying there are twin flames in everybody else. Right. There are true twin flames, and then there are different types of connections. There are soulmate connections. There are people that just, have random relationships with people, but I'm really talking about the actual true twin flame connection and what is different about those connections versus other connections. So I want to be able to flesh this out. Okay, I'm going to start with what we're going to do is we're going to talk about all the symptoms that people are talking about, and we're going to talk about all of these symptoms and how some of them are both twin flame and soulmate symptoms. And then we're going to go deeper. We're going to go into the actual symptoms that all true twins like universally have these characteristics. They have these symptoms. They're going through the same experiences with their twins that other soul connections don't. So I'm hoping this is going to help bring clarity to a lot of people. That being said, here we go. Okay. Some of these are so basic. We're going to go through the easy ones first, and then we're going to get deeper. Okay. I do want to say, when people come to us for validations, what we've been doing, and Tanya's no longer with us, but I've always done these by myself anyway. It doesn't over the last 7 years, I'm noticing the same things in everybody else. And it's really interesting because true twins have these certain group of symptoms that they're all really struggling with. And a lot of times when a true twin comes to us, they're going, okay, I don't understand what's happening to me. Nobody else I know really is experiencing this. I'm having like weird stuff going on, and I'm sensing something around me that I feel is my twin. They're having all of these weird things going on. They feel like they're going crazy. Usually I recognize all that stuff and I'm like, I'll give you, if someone gave me $1 for every time a twin said, this sounds crazy, but we kind of made a joke out of it and call it our crazy jar. Like, you need to give me $1 every time you say crazy, because usually it's not something crazy. It's something that all twins are experiencing that other people aren't. And when a twin actually understands that this is part of their abilities, it tends to bring a big sigh of relief. Sorry, I'm trying to do two things at once. I'm reading the comments. So the 144,000 are the twin flames, the actual true twin flame connection. They're actually 144,000 pairs. They're not separate. The pairs are supposed to be apart right now. People are not going to want to hear this, but the truth is divine timing is not based on, I'm going to walk away and God's going to drop my twin in my lap and we're going to be in union when I've earned it, or when he feels like it. It's not like that at all. This is all based on the Revelations timeline. This is all based on energetic strategy. Our energy has to be kept apart. Last forever or much longer at all. We talk about this a lot in the masterclass and in our private groups. I might even come on here and talk about it if team pushes me to it, but truly, divine timing is based on this timeline, which is a series of events in the spiritual war, which coincides with energetic strategy and divine timing, which is we have to be in mastery in order to come together to begin with. If you think about twin flames, think about them as a sparkler. So each sparkler, like the ones you light on the 4th of July, each sparkler burns at they burn at like 2,000 degrees. Like when we're in our highest vibing place, when we're in mastery and we're doing what we're supposed to do energetically, we are little powerhouses. But when you put us together, we're exponentially more powerful. So you think of, if you band sparklers together, you can actually create a bomb out of them. Like they explode shit. If you go on YouTube, look up sparklers, people can duct tape 10 of them together and they blow up refrigerators. So twins are being kept apart until their energy is supposed to be together, but it's all about strategy. So one of the biggest myths in the community is that we're together, which is why I want people to really understand this so that they don't feel like they're doing something wrong. We've got a lot of twins giving up because they're like, well, all these twins are in union, and I'm looking at them going, they're probably not twins. So there's that. Of course, there appears to be 1.4 million twin flames on Quora because everybody thinks they're a twin flame, which is why I'm doing this today, because I want people to know that there is a huge difference. Not only that, anybody can say they're a twin flame, but can they back it up? These are the ways, and these are all things that have been evidenced. These are all things that we get feedback in real time. These are all things that all true twins that have these characteristics, have the flame, have the energy, that have these things, they all have this. All of them experience the same stuff. I've never met a soulmate that does. Like somebody that is, even somebody that's awakened, and we'll go through that. And I'm going to answer questions at the end. We can do a Q&A at the end. So I'm going to start ripping through these. Yeah, most twins are going, I'm experiencing stuff I've never had before. I'm not talking about just having, empathy, like being an empath. Every twin is an empath, but every twin goes way beyond an empath. Empath can, feel the sadness of other people. We've got people that are using Reiki energy, that type of thing. You don't have to be a twin to do that. Anybody can do that. Anybody can learn Reiki. Anybody can manipulate energy. A lot of people have abilities like mediums. Mediums have clairvoyance and clairsentience. Absolutely. I'm not discounting that at all. I'm saying twins do things a little bit differently. So let's break down who does what and how this goes. Another thing is usually when twins come for a validation, it's kind of funny because I always tell them afterwards, the true twins that are coming to a validation, they walk in this session and I ask the question in the question session of the session when they sign up for the session itself. I ask them, how ready are you to hear the 100%, like the truth? Because I'm going to give it to you and you may not like it, but I'm going to give you the truth. So how ready are you to hear me give this to you regardless of what the outcome is? And most twins are saying, oh my God, like if they're exasperated by the time they want this session, they're saying something like, holy crap, I really just want to know if I'm right or if I'm wrong, because if I'm wrong, then get me the hell off this journey. And they're like, okay, I'm 100% in, but please tell me that I don't need to be doing this if I shouldn't be. Usually it's people that are not twins, have some kind of idea that this is some romantic cakewalk, and they want me to tell them that they're a twin even if they're not. It's really odd that way, because people don't truly understand it. So there's that. Here's another one. I just know I'm a twin. Okay, you can just know that you have a connection with somebody. Any soulmate can just know, oh my gosh, I saw you across the room. Oh my gosh, I knew we were supposed to be together. Great. Twins can just know that too. Sometimes the DMs don't know it's a twinship right off the bat. Everybody's different. Like I knew when I met my twin, holy shit, I have a connection with him. Some crazy stuff happened. I know I have a connection with him. I didn't know it was a twin flame connection until a couple of years later. He knew right off the bat. He knew exactly what it was. A lot of times one will have a knowing right away. They know this is their twin, and it takes the other one a little while to catch up. So this can vary. But once they understand it's like, I knew it was a connection that I've never had before. I knew it was otherworldly. I knew that I knew my twin, even when, and I'll explain this later, but I couldn't shake him to save my life. Like I couldn't walk away. I couldn't not be friends with him. It's something that you can't get rid of. It's different than an obsession. It's different than people that have an unhealthy attraction to somebody. It's legitimately your soul can't, it's a soul knowing. So it's really hard to delineate when people are like, but I just know. I'm like, well, that could be either one. So that applies to both. I see you down there. Mind fucked. I knew he was my person, but I had no idea about twins. Just thought he was my soulmate. I didn't know anything about twin flames for 4 years. Yep. And you're a DM. I know who you are. You're the female DM. I'm the female DM too. I'm the DM. I ran like the wind. I was like, this. I'm not doing this. I didn't know we were twins for 2.5 years in, but I knew that we had a really tight connection. That was something different. And I also recognized the first night I saw him, he was acting exactly like me. I was like, he's me. He's saying the same things as me. He's making the same expressions as me. He's acting like me. And my friend was like, holy crap, they thought they broke the mold when they made you, but there's another one. Like other people have seen it. Like you guys are identical. And we'll talk about that in just a minute. That's okay, Sarah. I know who you are. Okay. Alrighty. Next. Hold on a sec. You got to keep up with this. There's so many. I had to write them down because there's so many of them. Okay. Then there's the love like no other. This is the same thing as the I knew. The twin flame love is a little bit different. It's almost like a soul love where you feel like you love them like your own children. It's just different. It's not, yes, it can be a romantic love. Absolutely. Soulmate, right? So this can be both. So when people are like, but I know, and we both know, and we both love each other, and it's all this kind of stuff, it was like that can still be a soulmate. there's an uncanny resemblance between twins. Not always. Some actual twin flame pairs can look like brother and sister, like Tanya and her twin. It's like, blows me away. You guys look identical. There's another twin that's in one of our videos that we did about, we cleared the dark off them, and they're one of the very few twins that are actually in union. There's a reason for it. I think 3 out of like the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds I've worked with, or thousands actually. It's been that long. There's 3 couples that I knew. 2 of them are actually married. 1 actually split up. So one just had a baby together actually, but they're having trouble. They're not together. Long story short, the couple that's in one of the videos, they look like they could be literally like twins, like physical twins. Some do, some don't, but I will tell you that Dark made it very clear to me that they use pictures to identify true twin pairs, so that when they're targeting twins, like when they're inviting twins to these huge events and then they're messing with their energy and targeting them, they actually will lure them using pictures, and they compare the pictures using, you're going to love this, facial recognition. They use facial recognition technology because, as they have described, true twins, an actual true twin pair, there are certain parts on the face that actually match up on facial recognition. So that's kind of interesting. And then also, like I was describing, you and your twin, there's like no ice breaking period. It's not like you have to get to know them. Like, you just literally understand them. You sound like them. You speak like them. Anybody that would happen to run across you at the same time would be tripping out because they're like, it's so strange. You guys are so identical. If I didn't know which one of you was talking, I wouldn't know which one of you it was. Like, if I didn't hear your voice, you have the same expressions. You have the same tendencies. Like, everything in your life fits and snaps into place in the same way. It's uncanny. It's not like anything you've had before. These things can also be soulmate things. I've known soulmates that look, very much alike, who have a lot of the same mannerisms and those kind of things. So both of those could also indicate soulmate or twinship. Here's another one that both could have, but this is a little bit different because twins have to have this. So there's a lot of people out there that are awakening. The whole world is awakening right now. You've got people lighting up their kundalini. They're awakening. Their energetic abilities are flowing in. Their claircognizance, their clairvoyance, like these type of things. They're channeling things, all of this kind of stuff. There's a lot of energy and ability flowing through the world right now. But that doesn't mean you're a twin. Twins at this stage of the game have all had their kundalini. Even if you're just walking in, you're going to walk in with your kundalini. There are twins that are being hit by dark and their kundalini gets suppressed. There are twins that are going through hell because they're out crap, and their kundalini has been suppressed. You can relight your twin's kundalini. You can relight your own. You just gotta know how to do it. We teach that. It's going to be in the app. Once the app's done, you guys will have access to it. A lot of that stuff's going to be free. I might have even might even be on Instagram. I'm not sure. I know it's on our Facebook. But anyway, twins have to have the kundalini lit, because if your kundalini lit, once your kundalini's lit, your abilities fly off the charts. Like, we're supposed to be vibing way higher than kundalini. And if you understand the energetic scale, humans vibe in the mid 60s. You hit your kundalini and you're vibing all the way up in the mid 300s. So we're being pushed to be way higher than that. So if your kundalini is suppressed and you're only vibing at a human level and a not awakened level, you're going to have a hell of a time with your connection. You're going to have a hell of a time with team. You're going to have a hell of a time doing your remote work. You've got to have your kundalini fired up. So if you're a true twin, it is a requirement. Get on it. If you're having trouble with your connection and you can't feel it, it could be that your kundalini's been suppressed. Could be something else, but there's that. Kundalini could be with both, but if you're a twin, you better have that shit lit up. Just saying. Okay, card readings. Who has not had a card reading that said they were a twin? Half the world. So card readings themselves, this is a card, this is an external object that also is relying on the energy and is affected by the energy of the person doing the reading. So yes, absolutely, twins are told that they're twin flames through cards, but there's plenty of people that are not twin flames that are also told they're twin flames through cards, because there's nothing unique about cards that tell that you're a twin. So if you had a card reading and someone told you're a twin, but I recommend, and I really hope that you actually dive into the deeper stuff and see if this other stuff applies to you that we're getting ready to get into in a minute, because cards can tell anybody anything. And they're only as good as the person doing them. They also get influenced. Also, if somebody's not clearing their cards, and who knows where the hell they're even reading from. So I don't rely on that at all. There's that. Yes, they can be helpful, but they can also be very wrong. So just saying. Yeah, it said that groaners grow to look like their dogs, Phoebus. That's funny. Chrissy's saying, my twin knew before me. Oh, we already did that. I didn't want to do anything with him at first, but yet he was still everywhere. Yeah, you can't get away from him. You cannot get away from your twin. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Everywhere. They're wherever you are. Phoebus is saying, is it a divine connection? Absolutely. And we're going to talk, the very last thing is the most powerful. It's the actual flame. But this is a connection that is split from the God spark. It's split soul. That's another thing I forgot to write down here, because that is what the twin flame is. You are a split soul. You're also a split of the God spark. So they're angelic. They're split soul. There's only one split. You can't have two twins. You can't have three twins. You are split into two. It doesn't mean half and half. It's kind of like a baby soul can be small. A 7-year-old or a 7-foot tall person's soul can be 7 foot tall. Soul in two different bodies. Absolutely. Which goes right back to, like when I said my twin is me. You look, sounds, acts exactly like me. It's uncanny. You are the same person. You really are the same person. We also do share energy. I forgot to put that in here too, but we'll get into that in a minute. Signs and synchronicities, we all get them. Soulmates and twins all get signs and synchronicities. So I have a lot of people that come to me and they're like, well, I just knew, and we have this love like no other. And I got a card reading that said I'm a twin, and I also get signs and synchronicities all the time. The problem is signs and synchronicities can come from anything. God and your angelic team, if they're trying to get a message to you and you're not tapping into your connection with them, and you're also not tapping into your connection with your actual twin, they will give you synchronicities to alert you that you need to pay attention. It's almost like a little alarm bell. They're not trying to give you the information through signs and synchronicities. They may be helping you validate something. They may be alerting you to something, or they want you to pay attention to something, but that applies to everybody. So if you're getting signs and synchronicities, it does not necessarily mean that you're a twin. If we did this experiment a long time back, when I was working with Gina, and she said, okay, I want you to ask for, if you are a true twin, then you're going to see a set of actual twins. And I was like, that's not specific enough. And not only that, how do you know that dark isn't sending you a pair of twins so that you believe you're a twin when you're not, so that you walk down the wrong path? If you don't know how to validate what you're getting, then it could be coming from anywhere. And dark's whole job is to basically lead twins to believe that they're not, lead people that are not twins to believe that they are twins, so that they spin around in circles and get frustrated. So you really want to know where you're getting these from, number one. And number two, both soulmates and twin flames get them. So if team is trying to lead you to a soulmate that you're supposed to have this beautiful relationship with, it doesn't necessarily mean you're a twin. It means this is your beautiful path and it's being handed to you. So are you paying attention to that? determining whether a sign or a synchronicity means that it's a twin or a soulmate, you'd have to go to team for that. So there's that. Chrissy's saying, the time I knew it was different was when we talked for over 6 hours and still wanted to talk the next day also. We're doing the same thing and eating the same thing. Totally true. But soulmates can do that too. I've seen them. Like you see these little old ladies and men, they're like 80 years old. They've been married for 50 years and they finish each other's sentences. And I mean, they have a beautiful relationship and there's nothing wrong with that. But if that's what you're supposed to have, God forbid, don't drag yourself over broken glass, over a twin journey, over the label, with somebody that you're not supposed to be doing this when you've got a soulmate and a beautiful path waiting for you. So really take this seriously. I do. Like, I validate the living shit out of people. I spend an hour doing it. I go through every single one of these things because the clarity and where you're moving to is that important. Just saying. Okay. Connected by a cord. Everybody's connected by a cord when you have an exchange. So you'll have an energetic cord that's time. You can just intend that you're cutting them and they're cut. Shit, ask Michael to do it. He'll do it. Karmics, like, okay, so soulmates, if you have somebody in your life that you're meant to spend that time with for whatever reason, you have a soul contract, you'll have a cord. Twins have a cord too. Soulmate cords are connected in that lifetime, in that experience. So they're temporary until they're cut. You don't come into the world with them. You create them as you move into relationships with these people. The soulmate cord looks like a black cord that's thick. It almost looks like black spaghetti. It's solid. It's static. There's no energy moving through it, but it definitely connects you together. Those can be cut. The twin cord is very different. The twin cord has been connected since the beginning of time, since you were even split. Regardless if you are in the same lifetime with your twin, because we've been through that. Here's another thing. Everybody has, with your soulmates and your twins, you've been through lifetimes with each other. Great. But twins, the cord has always been there. Even when you're not physically incarnated together, you're still connected. Like, this cord stretches across the whole world. Depending on how far you are, the cord is always there. Here's what a twin cord looks like. They're very dynamic. They aren't static. They are actually, okay, Sarah's saying I keep cutting out. Sorry about that. Re-say what I just said about cords. Okay, which part? Sarah, I'm just going to bring you in. I'm going to send you a link right now. Jump on here if you can. If you can't, that's cool, but I'm going to send you a link. I see you. Hold on just a second, you guys. I think it's probably easier. Okay. There's that. If you choose to jump on, great. If not, let me make sure that went through. I did not. There. Okay. All right. Let me. I'll just recap. Oh, the very beginning. Okay. Energetic cords are created in any interaction you have with anybody. They can be cut instantly. It's just energy. It's not a big deal. Soulmate cords, you don't bring them into this lifetime. You create them. They are created when you have your first interaction, and they are there through the length of the relationship. You can cut them afterwards. Absolutely. Basically, they're temporary while you're interacting and while you're having a relationship with this person. They are black. They are thick, like they're solid like spaghetti. They're very static. There's not stuff moving through them. Here comes Sarah. Oh, here comes Tracy too. Hey guys. I'm bringing people up that are actually in the masterclass, and they know what they're doing. I love their input. So I'm bringing them up. Tracy's here. Sarah's here. Leah's here. Okay. So the soulmate cord, you can cut it. It's black. It's thick. It's like spaghetti. It doesn't have anything moving through it. Let me show you what the difference between that and a twin cord. Can you guys see that? They're all different colors, but basically what they look like is so it looks like it is a like a almost like glass, but it's like cord. It goes right into the heart chakra. Starve it to death. Like if you're not loving your twin, as you push love and push thoughts and push energy, you're pushing your shared frequency through this cord. It keeps it strong. It keeps it alive. The one myth in the community that pisses me off more than anything is when people say, leave your twin in it and go work on yourself. Nothing's flowing through this. The twin's not getting the help. They're not getting your energy. They're not getting assistance. They're not getting love. And I disintegrate. They start looking like a pipe that's rusting out. So that when somebody actually tries to push love in it, it just kind of goes off into nowhere. It's really tragic. So no, you can't cut them, absolutely, but you can starve them out. It's like an umbilical cord. If you don't feed the umbilical cord, if you crimp it, it'll just rot. So same thing. The cord has, it's dynamic. It's got a lot of movement going back and forth. As you can see, like this is the best picture I could find of what they look like. But it's like a frequency that goes back and forth, and it actually has a sound. Sounds like a really high-pitched theremin, if you guys know what that is. I would put the YouTube up of what that kind of sounds like, but I probably would get a copyright strike on it. I need to figure that out. I'll put a link after this processes. I'll put a link at the description and the replay of the theremin. It's a very, very high-pitched tone that sounds kind of like a song. The interesting thing about this is I know Phoebus was asking about, is this divine? When they talk about in Revelations about they sing a song that no one can sing, that's why. It's because this is the soul song right here. It's the sound of the frequency moving back and forth. Twins have the identical frequency because we share it. So when you have people in the community that are saying, you shouldn't be working on your twin, you shouldn't be sending them energy, you can't help it. You have permission because you're sharing energy, you're sharing the cord. This is where a lot of our universal, unique symptoms come from right here is the cord. It connects at the heart chakra. It's always there. We can feel it. We use it. This is how we communicate from countries apart. It's pretty freaking amazing. But I can actually see these. I can see the color of them. Sometimes we can hear them. Usually the twins themselves can feel them. So I help them recognize what they're feeling because that's what this is. So they're going, why am I having this weird sensation? And where is this coming from? It's like, it's the cord. It's the properties of the cord. That's what it does. So that was that. Does everybody understand the cord? Does that make sense? Only twins have these. Energetic, and you can't cut this. Energetic cords they come and go. You can accumulate them. That's why it's important to always cut the cords around you. So you're not just carrying this shit around with you everywhere you go. Karmic cords can be cut. There's that. Okay, important to understand how the twin cord works because this is actually what creates this next thing. Heart chakra sensations. When people come to me, and I've already gone through most of this stuff, and I'll say, okay, I used to tell people this like out loud because they would try to fake it. They'd come and say, but I'm feeling this. And I'm like, do you really? Because there's a marked difference in people that are soulmates and people that are actual twins always have a distinctly different answer to this without me saying anything. When I'm asking the question, what are you actually feeling physically in your heart chakra? I'm not talking about, oh, I feel a lovey sensation, or I feel like it's open and I'm feeling, love and it's wide and it's, and then they go off on this tangent about how they're feeling. And I'm like, I'm not asking you how you're feeling, because twins have that too. I'm asking you what you legitimately are feeling physically in your heart chakra. Usually, if they're not a twin, they don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Is anybody here that's actually up here? Leah, Sarah, and Leah, you're probably still on the train, but Tracy, Sarah, Leah, do you guys want to talk about what you guys feel in your heart chakra that's physical? Because all of them do it. Anyone? They're like, no. Go, Sarah.
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, in the beginning, or at least when the Kundalini hit, it was severe, agonizing pain.
Yeah.
But then it turned into, leading up to the Kundalini, it was like rapid heartbeats where I thought I was like, I'd be lying down in bed and it would be going crazy, rapid. That doesn't happen so much anymore, but now it's like I'll get a stab in the right side of my chest, or I have like a dull tingle in the left side of my chest, depending on obviously what he's going through for that day.
Awesome. Have you ever had this before you were a twin, or before you actually like activated into your twinship?
No. In fact, I thought I was having heart problems.
I know so many twins that are like, oh my God, I have these pains. And I'm like, it's okay. It's your twin, silly. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Totally. Anyone else? Sarah, Leah are up here? I think Leah's probably not able to talk. Okay. Here's what twins experience, because here's the deal. When you've got energy flowing through the cord, and you're like, all of a sudden you're sending your twin love, or you're like gushing over something they did, or you have this memory, this brush of frequency goes, and the communication moves through that cord and it hits them in the heart chakra, and it goes both ways, right? So if your twin is trying to tell you something, if they've got something going on where they're thinking about you, or they're trying to share something with you, or they're communicating, and usually twins that are like really grasping this connection, they know how to push this stuff. They're like, I want him to know this. I'm trying to help him with this. I'm grabbing this. My twins' abilities are off the chain. Sometimes I have heart chakra, so it's like palps, right? Palpitations you literally feel in the middle of your chest. So it's almost like between your breasts, right? In the middle of the heart chakra, you will feel a sensation that almost feels like, if you're a woman and you've had children and you feel a baby kicking from the inside, it feels like that rolling, that feels like a spinning. Her heart chakra would spin. But it feels like an actual movement. It feels like a thumping, or a flutter, like a really hard flutter. I'm not just talking about have butterflies. We do have flutters. Soulmates can have like fluttery chest too, but this is like an actual rolling thump, a palpitation like you would have, not a heart palpitation in your heart. It's a palpitation in your heart chakra. There are other signs. If you really understand your connection and you understand how the heart chakra works with your twin and the cord, your twin will be communicating something through what your heart chakras feel like. Sometimes it'll be a pain. Sometimes it'll be a pressure. Sometimes you'll feel like a sharp pain. Sometimes you're going to feel like a burning. And if it's on the left side of the heart chakra, or the right side of the heart chakra, or the middle part of the heart chakra, depends on what part of the life it has to do with. So I'm going to show you this really quick, because I put this up in our Instagram. We've got all kinds of stuff like this up there, but I'm going to share it with you guys just really fast, because I did a little carousel about how to tell what the heart chakra stuff means. So on the left means something in the middle, and the middle means something different than the right. It all means something different depending on if it's left, middle, in the right. And then also what the feelings feel like also, is different depending on what you're feeling. So I'm going to share this just really quick. I'm not going to flip through it totally, but hold on just a sec. Doo-doo-doo. Okay. Yeah. So I did this on Instagram. If you're not on our Instagram, go check it out because it basically walks you through. Here's the cord, which is why the heart chakra is doing this. You'll have pain, burning. Whoops, wrong one. I'm not an Instagram person. But it is, this explains. If you feel it on the left, it's about this. If it's a center, it's like this. On the right, like this. So go check our Instagram if you haven't. There's lots of stuff in there, even like astral sex and the heartbeat, all that kind of stuff. But it helps you guys kind of figure out what this stuff means. But soulmate interactions don't have this because the cord isn't providing that burst of energy, if that makes sense. When people are walking in and walking out, there tends to be a very, very sharp pain in your heart chakra. This lasts for a long time. It's not just, my twin's trying to get my attention, so we'll go into 5D and listen, or he's not trying to get my attention so that I pay attention to what he's trying to tell me telepathically. This is legitimately, it feels like you've been stabbed, like you got a pen stuck in your chest, and it stays there for hours to days. It's terrifying. That's what those feel like when you're either walking into a twin ship or walking out. It's painful and obvious. So there's that. Tracy's asking. Tracy, did you want to talk about your heart chakra stuff? I don't know if you did.
No, it's good. You guys actually covered it. I was just letting you know. Sorry, I didn't mean to leave you hanging.
No, that's cool. I just saw your chat. So there's a lot of stuff going on actually physically with the heart chakra. So twins are paying attention to this stuff because it's telling us what's going on with our twin. It's giving us the communication we need. It's even calming us down if we're stressed out because you're communicating with your twin in every single moment. And a lot of this is done through the heart chakra. So, shared heartbeat. Okay. I put an explanation of this in our Instagram too. You got to dig to find it. But we actually will share each other's heartbeat. Let me give you an example. You also can wake each other up because you're sharing energy all the time. So twins that are, okay, say for example, I stay up really late at night. I'm up working super, super late. I go to bed at 1 a.m. Say my twin gets up at 3 a.m. and works out. Boom, I'm wide awake. I'm wide awake and I'm just laying there staring at the wall going, what the hell? He must have just woken up. We don't have this with other people. Yes, you can have the type of telepathy. Oh shit, I skipped that whole thing. We need to talk about, I think I deleted that one, but we need to talk about that. Oh, that's next. Okay. Shared heartbeat is really interesting because like you can literally be laying there resting. And then all of a sudden say my twin went to run 3 miles. I would be lying there resting and all of a sudden my heart would start pounding. My heartbeat is going to mimic his increased heartbeat in the moment. So even if I'm taking a bath and my twin is doing something he's really super stressed out, or he's getting really excited, or his heartbeat increases, mine's gonna match it. I have never seen that with people other than twins. It's because our energy is shared all the time, if that makes sense. Okay, level of internal soul level. The level of internal soul level interaction. We have a lot of people that say, oh, I have telepathy with my twin because I think about him and then I get a text. That can happen to anyone. I have this with a lot of people in my life, but it doesn't mean I'm twins with them. If I think about my best friend from high school, I'll get a text like 5 minutes later. I just knew that she was in surgery and hadn't talked to her in a year and a half. And I just reached out and her husband said, you're a freak because she's in surgery. And I was like, I just knew I needed to talk to her right now. A lot of people that are awakening will have these abilities and you can draw someone to you energetically. I know a lot of people that have said, oh my gosh, I was just thinking about you. And then you just texted me. That can happen with anybody. So get rid of everything external. Get rid of the cell phones, get rid of the email, get rid of all that stuff. True twins are so connected, like through the cord. We're sharing energy. We're sharing physical heartbeats. We are feeling our twins. We're feeling their physical stuff going on. We are feeling their emotions in the moment, whether or not we even realize it's theirs. Like all of a sudden you just hit a rage. All of a sudden you burst into tears. All of a sudden you feel anxiety. We are feeling, okay, I'm getting craving spaghetti. My twin's making a list of groceries to make spaghetti. You're smelling what they're eating. All of our abilities are coming into line. I'm thinking the same thoughts. My twin has actually said stuff before that I've said word for word to Tanya that I've never told anybody else. They can hear you in every second. We all have different abilities. We have the clairs, the claircognizance, the clairvoyance, the clairsentience, and then we have the clairaudience. And then the other two is going to have, or the other twin is going to have the other two stronger. So like say if, for example, my vision and my knowings are off the chain. I can see and I just get knowings like constantly. I also can hear and I can kind of feel, but I don't like to because it distracts me and slows me down. Where my twin can feel everything that I'm feeling and can hear every freaking word I say and every thought. It doesn't mean he can't see. He absolutely can, but I'm going to have two primaries where he's going to complement me with the other two primaries. So if you're communicating with your twin, you're either feeling, hearing, knowing, seeing them all the time. A lot of people don't realize that they're getting their twin because they think it's them until we pick it apart and then we help them validate it. And every twin pair is different, but yes, you can have some of these abilities, like, you can read somebody else. Yeah, you can connect with, you can have mediumship abilities, but nothing like this. I can literally feel my twin go to the bathroom. I know that my twin has had an injury before, and I actually had a really bad pain in that area to the point where I had to go to the ER. There was nothing wrong with me, and I found out later that it was him. When one twin is sick, the other one goes down. We're constantly connected. We are integrated closer than we ever have been. So we're feeling and experiencing each other in every second. It's pretty insane. Does anybody want to add to that? Your experiences with your twin? Because we all kind of get it differently. And then you also get it differently than your twin does too. It's just a matter of validating that.
I can add something.
Okay.
I feel him a lot energetically, like where it feels like he is physically present with me. Like it's almost like he's sitting directly behind me and I can feel him. And I can feel him like rummage through my head, like he's listening to what I'm saying. And I can tell that he's listening to the conversation that I'm having with someone else. But he also sends like these sensations that are peaceful and wonderful. I think that's just me feeling him sending love through the cord. It's not like a sexual thing. It's very, I don't know, it's wonderful. I just want to sit in it all day when he sends that.
That's a really good point, because that's one thing I forgot to mention is that your twin will show up remotely and you can literally feel their energy. Like you'll feel tingles down one side of your head. You'll feel the pressure on your skin. You can actually feel their energetic body move through your body, almost like you're merging. It's insane. You literally can feel their energy. You'll feel tingles. You'll even have muscle spasms where they're connecting. And you can validate this with them. Some people can, some people don't want to talk about it, but you can get validations in other ways. But this is just part of the twin thing. It's pretty crazy, but it's awesome. Anything I missed, you guys? It's more of an internal energetic interaction. It's internal between you and your twin's energy and your soul. It shows somewhere else. It's just confined within you and your energy. That's what I'm trying to say, which is how it's different. And I'm hearing, I don't know, somebody out there's like, yeah, but I do Reiki and I affect somebody's energy. Well, that's true because that's an energetic exchange that you allow. But it's different with twins. Okay. There's that. Rocking on. Astral sex. Go to our Instagram. There's like symptoms of astral sex. Astral sex is intense. No, this is not a demonic thing. You don't have a demon coming to you like a succubus or an incubus. Yes, you could absolutely have an incubus or succubus. I'm talking about twins remoting. It literally is energetic sex. It's almost like it's like your energetic bodies are combined. So one will move into the other. I'm just going to be crass because I don't know how else to describe this. It's almost like being screwed by a ghost. It literally is that palpable. You can feel them moving into you. You can feel all of the sensations. It's like their energetic body is legitimately, you are having energetic sex and it comes in physically. It's insane. It's something that we are supposed to be doing. If I have to throw this out there, if you have a twin and either of you are committed to someone else, if you have a karmic relationship, either of you do, you are not supposed to be having physical sex with your twin. You are not supposed to be having intimacy with your twin. Astral sex, absolutely. We're supposed to be building the bond. It strengthens our energy. It clears each other. It enhances that flow of love. And it heals a lot. We're supposed to be having astral sex with our twin. So there's that. Okay, that's all the fun stuff. All twins have been sealed on their foreheads for 3 years now, I think. We saw them come in. When they first come in, they look like it's like a cross in the middle of the forehead, like smack dab in the middle of the forehead. And it's probably about 1.5 inches tall and 1.5 inches wide, but it'll spread out and come back. It'll vary. It'll go out and in, depending. When they come in, they look kind of like a gray little smudge, like you got dirt on your head in the shape of a cross. And they morph quickly into like a dent. So it almost looks like your head is dented like that. It's pretty crazy. Some people's are deeper than others. Some of them kind of change a little bit, not really change, but they can get light on one side, meaning one of the lines kind of comes and goes and one may be stronger than the other. Some people, I can't really see them physically on their heads. Like I have one client that has a Botox and she's got the most flawless skin in the world. And I can't even see a wrinkle. I'm like, I'm not going to see anything on there. Very few I can't see. Even if you can't see them physically, they are there energetically. They look like a white cross in the same place that looks like a light. It's like a fuzzy white light in the shape of a cross energetically. But most people, you can see them in their pictures. You can see them it's like I'm walking in right now. That would appear on their heads when they walk in. If somebody is walking out of a twinship, the seal actually goes away. Once you have one, it actually shows in your old pictures. But once it goes away in everything. It's really strange. So say you walked in tomorrow and your seal started showing up on your head. If you would look at pictures of you from 5 years ago, it would show on your picture from 5 years ago. But the minute that thing went away, then it would go away in all the pictures. It's the strangest thing. We have seen people too that have been like, I don't know how I feel about this. I feel like I have a twin, but this has been hell and I don't know what to make of it. I really need some clarity. And then once we explained it to them, and they were like, we're like, you're definitely twins, but this is why you're having this problem right now. Here's what you can do to get back on track. But you have to own it. And they have owned it. And we've actually seen these seals come in on their heads while we were talking to them. Like both of them were like, it's showing up right now. So it's almost like when they walk into their path and when they accept it, I've seen seals show up then. So that's what it looks like. There are other symbols on people's heads. Like I can tell when people are doing voodoo because that has its own symbol. Witchcraft's got something going on too. If you're doing witchcraft, I can see it. Dark has sigils. They have symbols and all kinds of stuff that shows up on their head. So there's a lot. Cosmic beings. Cosmic beings have symbols that show on their heads. So a lot of your soul path is shows up in symbols on the head. But for twins, it's a cross right in the middle of the forehead. So there's that. I have also heard there are other energetic symbols to twins. Like Jim used to see a reddish purple, like electric red or purple infinity sign around each of the twins' ankles. So they were kind of connected with one loop of the infinity symbol went around one twin's ankle and the other loop went around their other twin's ankle. You know what I mean? So the infinity symbol was connecting the twin pair by the ankles. I've never seen that. I don't look at any other symbol because these basically tell you everything you need to know. So I don't really pay attention to that stuff. But yeah, mark of the beast sigils. Mm-hmm. So there's that. And then the most important thing of all, we can actually test this. This is absolutely insane. The twin flame fire. This is why, we moved into the graceful connection and I wanted the word grace in there. Not only because of the graceful energy that the master twins and like the group, you guys are amazing. They have such grace in their journeys and it's so beautiful. But the grace is actually the God spark. So the God spark is the twin flame. So when God talks about, the fallen fell and I pulled their grace, he pulled their twin flame away from them. So they're never going to be able to awaken into this. They're always going to be low vibing beings, which is why they use technology. I'm just going to go off on a tangent really quick, but it's why they use technology to replicate our abilities because they cannot have their own. The twin fire is our biggest gift and it's our biggest weapon. Here's why. It is such a pure frequency. It is of the highest frequencies that exist in the universe. It's right up there with the violet flame. Blissful and soothing and healing. The twin fire, what it does is it purifies and illuminates. We use it for all kinds of shit. It doesn't just live in your heart chakra like a little pilot light. We use it to do all kinds of stuff. I fight dark with it. We clear our twins with it. I have to throw this out there. You have to be really freaking careful with your twin fire. We are bound by the angelic rules of engagement. So we can only use our twin fire for certain reasons. Because here's the thing, it vibes so high that it is lethal to anything that it's lower vibing. So I know of a twin who taught her twin how to use his twin fire, and he didn't use it properly and actually sent a guy to a hospital. It is so high vibing that it is its own frequency, right? So you've got the frequency of a human being in the mid 60s. You've got the frequency of, light worker that's had their kundalini, they're vibing in like the 300s. Then you got people that are mastering unconditional love and all this stuff. You're up in the healing and the 500s and the 700s, 800s. The twin fire is like all the way at the top because it is so pure. It's the God spark. So if you think about the frequency scale, the further away you get from each other, the more toxic you are to each other. Just like high vibing beings don't mesh with low vibing beings and the like. So where dark uses fear, doubt, shame, those are really low vibing. What, in the 40s maybe? It's right down there with Cancer. They'll use that to pull twins down to the human level. So their whole job is to bring us out of this frequency. But when we use the twin fire against anything dark or against anything negative, it's lethal. I kill dark with it. We can clear each other with it. Like if there's anything going on in the house, like all the twins that we work with, we use that fire. We push it all the way through the house and clear the whole house with it because it'll get rid of anything instantly, which is why we don't need sage, candles, all that crap. Here's the thing. When I'm testing to find out if somebody's a twin, only twins can actually handle this frequency because that's the frequency that you are if you're a twin. Everybody has, it's almost like a blood type. So if you have surgery and they put the wrong blood in you, your body's going to reject it. You're going to have all kinds of problems. If I'm pushing twin fire into just a little bit of it, if I just push a little tiny bit of it into somebody, say that isn't even awakened, they'll have all kinds of issues. It'll be like, oh my gosh, I'm having a panic attack. Feel like I'm nauseous. All of a sudden I'm feeling twitchy. It feels like I've got prickles on my skin. They have some kind of uncomfortable reaction to it. And so I'll pull it right back out, but I wanted them to feel it first. If I'm pushing twin fire into somebody is awakened, you're awakened, you're a soulmate, but you don't have the twin flame, you're still not going to be comfortable with it. Usually people that are like, because I try to show them, I'm like, here's the difference. If you had twin fire, this will feel, and all twins do. If I push twin fire into another twin, they usually are like, I don't feel anything because it's the same. Or they'll say, woo, I feel really kind of high right now, or that feels really good, or it feels warm, or it's just like something, it feels really good and comfy. Because it's not a twin. Generally they'll ask me to stop. They'll be like, oh, I don't know. They'll get anxious. They might kind of start hopping around in their seat, or they might kind of feel a little bit uncomfortable, or they'll be like, oh, I don't know. My arm is kind of twitching, or I've got, Pringles, like something on my hands. It's not harmful, but it doesn't feel good. They don't like it. So usually I'll pull it out and say, okay, that's because it was the twin fire. It's a different frequency. So there's levels of frequencies for different soul groups. The twin flame resonates with the twin fire. Light workers resonate with the awakened, the kundalini, the higher levels of frequency. Humans vibrate down in the 60s, and then dark, lower. An example of this is this. If you take someone who is not awakened and you take them to a crystal store, fill their hand up with moldavite and a bunch of crystals and see what happens. They're going to freak out. People are known to have nosebleeds. They can't handle the frequency of the moldavite in their hand if they're not awakened because it's too high. You can't, everything's frequency. So that's kind of how that works. So there's that. I know that was a lot and I ranted, but does anyone have any questions? Because I think that we kind of have not shared this openly. And I know back in the day, it was almost like we wouldn't want to tell them this is what this is, because then people would come into the session and they would say, oh, I have the heart chakra pains. And I'm like, how do we know if they do or they don't? We'd have to go in there and feel it. So it's exhausting. We'd have to go sift through the truth. But we still can tell. If anybody really doesn't really understand, if they're like, well, I don't really know if this applies to me, or maybe I'm feeling heart chakras, maybe I'm not. If I really don't know if, hold on a second, I gotta get this. I don't know if this really applies to me or if it's all in my head or what's going on. If you want to, I do offer a session where I validate all this stuff, and I do it really thoroughly. Like we walk through all of it. Like, let's look at your cord. I see your twin on the other side of the cord to make sure where your cord is going to, and then describe him to you. Here's what he's doing. Here's what she's doing. Here's what they're saying. Usually you'll get a lot of validations that way of who's connected, who I see is connected to the other side. We go through all of the symptoms. We go through all of this. And I do the fire test to see how you respond to it. So if you guys need that, I'm going to put the link right here. It's right there. It's called a discovery session. It's like an hour. Sometimes they go longer because usually when people are twins, they're like, now what do I do? And then we have to talk about it for a minute. But I do offer that. So I'm hoping that this should help you guys determine, does this really apply to me or doesn't it? So that will help you guys get some clarity on what path you're on. If you're not experiencing this stuff, I do want to say it doesn't mean that you're not going to walk in. It could be that there's a huge wave of walk-ins coming again in the next few months. That could be a part of it. I really don't know. If you need help, I can help you figure it out. But what I do know in the last 6 years with everybody that's up same experiences. So I hope that was helpful. Does any of you guys have anything to add? Did I forget anything? Oh, there is one thing. I do want to throw this out there. There's one thing that soulmates have that we don't. Is that soulmates are supposed to be together and have fulfilling 3D relationships all the way through. Twins are not. Most twins are not. I will say 2% of twins are supposed to be together right now. 98% are being held back like the water that gets sucked out of the ocean before a tsunami. We're supposed to be ramping up our energy, and we're supposed to stay far away from each other as we can. I'm not saying this is forever. Don't feel like you're being punished. But twins are supposed to be kept apart until they're not. If you want to learn about divine timing, do have the master course too. If anybody really, like, you feel like you want to embrace this connection, you want to embrace your connection with team, here, I'll give you a link. We just started the new master course round 2. And I am still bringing new people in. So if you guys are interested in really rocking this and learning it, it's right here. Check it out. And if you have any questions, message me. Send me an email. I'm happy to explain stuff. Oh, Sarah, good point. The clearing and protecting of our twins. We are supposed to do this. We have to be clearing and protecting our twins. Usually it's one that's protecting and it's one that's clearing, even though the one that's clearing also knows how to protect. Everybody's going to have their yin and their yang in it. But if one twin is getting hit by dark, if one twin is going down a ball of flames energetically for whatever reason, it's going to carry over to the other twin. So you've got to keep an eye on this. It's our responsibility to make sure that we're both vibing high. If one goes down, you both go down. So we both have to stay on top of this. Sarah, did you have anything else to say about that?
It was sort of a tangent of the just leaving your twin in it and walking away and working on yourself, like what they are saying in the community. Where you need to realize that oftentimes they're being pulled away by dark, by voodoo, by whatever is happening.
Yeah.
That you actually need to take care of them because they're in trouble.
Yeah. If they're acting funny, there's a reason for it. You need to figure out what that reason is. And a lot of times dark is like, MK, there's demonic stuff, there's fear, there even fear and doubt, right? Then there's voice to skull. There's a lot of things at play. There's a lot of this. I'm not even going to say what it's called. Let's say FIVE, letter G. That's basically dropping the vibration of the entire planet all at once. It's toxic. It's all designed to bring our vibration down, all of it. So when I'm saying dark, people freak out. Oh, I don't want to hear about dark. Well, you know what? Everything is dark that's low vibe. Doubt and fear is dark. Fighting with somebody is dark. It's like demonic shit's dark. Yes, absolutely. There's stuff that people are getting, like twins are getting like stalked, hunted, and targeted with this shit. if something's wrong with your twin, it's our responsibility to take this connection, take this cord, take this combined energy. We can remote to them so that we're both vibing high. If you're doing this with somebody else, you really need to have permission on a soul level. But with your twin, it's your responsibility because you share everything. So thank you for that, Sarah. The leaving them in it. I mean, now when you understand what the twin cord's like, and you understand that we share everything, if one goes down, you can't just leave your twin in it because they're just going to drag you behind them. It's not how this works. So there's that. Is there anything else I forgot? Any other twinny things you guys can think of? Alrighty. Well, that's it. Thank you guys for all your questions and your input. We will be back. In fact, I have 2 more, God says, from Stancy already as of yesterday. She's just dropping those like hot potatoes. So I'll be getting those out. If you guys really want to understand something, send me an email and go, hey, can you break this down? We'll get on here and do it. Because team has been bending me over and pushing me to be on live like a marathon. I'm supposed to be sharing so many things that it's piled on. So if there's something you really want to see, send me an email. Just go to the main, go to the website. There's a little, you can email me, right? Scroll to the bottom, contact me. Send an email saying, can you explain this, or what the hell does this mean? Somebody asked some really good questions in the comment section of one of the videos from the other day. I really want to do one on that. So either comment in below or send me an email, but we really want to get out relevant stuff that you guys really want to talk about. And there's a lot of crap in the community by a lot of people that are not twins. And I know this is going to send a ripple out there, but I really don't care. I really want true twins to get the information they need. And I really want people that are being drugged behind this journey by the label that shouldn't be, to be able to free themselves and move into a beautiful path. So hopefully this helps somebody. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. We're going to dip out for now, but we will be back. And thanks for being here.